Over the last 3 months, I've basically had no time. My 9 to 5 became more like an 8 to 7. I spent more time on social media content, education and self-development, and so training had to take a bit of a back seat. I stripped back to only training 3 times a week, fitting 45-minute sessions into my lunch break or before work, and stopped training with complicated splits and routines. So in this video, we'll work from the top down, starting with training splits, exercise selection, and then the exact sets and reps you should be doing to maximize your progression, even with minimal time training 3 times a week. And if you're new to this channel, I aim to make physique development as simple as possible and cut through the complicated influencer content that leaves you more confused and forever searching for the right answer. First of all, training split. Science shows us that people who train a muscle group 2 to 3 times a week will yield much better results than once a week. So leave out the bro split and push-pull leg splits and choose one of these. The boring but most effective 3-day split is going to be a full body split, as you probably guessed. Don't get me wrong, it's incredibly hard and requires mental resilience. It's certainly not the most enjoyable, but if you just want to make the most progress you can, then this is perfect. But for the people who want to enjoy their training and want to prioritize their upper body development, an upper split works very well, particularly for focusing a little more time on the show muscles such as the delts, lats and chest. So on paper, you might be training on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and then take the remaining days as rest days. The important thing is we have one rest day between each training day. And then we move into the exercises that make up each session. We want to do 2 to 3 core exercises per body part that give us the most bang for our buck. So for chest, think about pressing variations, back, think about pull downs and rows, and so on. Choose exercises you enjoy and then stick to them. Don't be switching these up every week, as the goal is to progress either the reps or load we are using every session in this movement. So once you've chosen exercises per body part, we want to start with around 6 sets per body part across the week, spread evenly across sessions. So for instance, if you choose a full body split, your chest training might look like an incline press on day 1, a flat press on day 2, and then a fly on day 3 with 2 sets each. Download rep count or use a notebook and pen and track your lifts every week. Every session you should be referring to the sets you did last week and then try and beat them this week. In terms of rep ranges, we usually want to train as close to the 5 to 7 rep range as possible that you still feel comfortable and safe in. And this just requires you to be sensible and listen to your body. For me, I can take my quads very close to that 5 rep range, whereas because I have historically vulnerable shoulders, I shoot a little higher for things like lateral raises and pressing movements that cause me a little bit of discomfort. And in a similar vein, we want to be training as close as possible to failure, as we know those last 5 reps before failure are what ultimately elicits hypertrophy. Again, be sensible. Taking a barbell squat to failure probably isn't the smartest idea, whereas taking a leg extension to failure is perfectly safe for most. Training ultimately comes down to common sense. Striving for strength progression every week, but not to the detriment of injuries or recovery capabilities. Listen to your body and just know when to pull back. And that really is how simple training is. Train each body part 2 to 3 times a week, if a priority, with approximately 6 sets spread evenly across the sessions, and for the most part within a 5 to 7 rep range. Rest times I've never found value in really timing. I find the best approach is to start the next set when I feel like I can perform maximally again. And a good proxy to use for this is when your heart rate has returned close to normal again. So try this out and let me know how it goes. If you'd like to find out a little more about how I set this up, then in the description I've linked my free 8-day course that explains training, nutrition and lifestyle principles that I've used personally to skyrocket my progress, including an example full body split broken down exercise to exercise, so check that out. And if you found this useful, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.